everyone. It's time for Commuter Companion. That's what I'm going to call this when you're driving in with me each morning. And I tell my story that you may or may not care about. That's okay by me. I get to talk. You have the choice to listen. So let's just go back a little bit about good things and bad things. So high school. Yay, high school. Went to Catholic high school. Great. Was a little protected. Had a big mouth, a lot of opinions. My high school didn't have the plaid pleated skirt uniform. That was the elementary school. But we had to wear like blue, brown, gray, green, I don't remember, skirts with jackets or vests. We had our footwear kind of laid out for us. And the only thing we could do was go wild with our hair. A little. We were in high school, so our parents had a lot to say about it. But I was always the one that was a little bit different, a little quirky. As far as friends go, I wasn't bullied. Some of my friends were bullied. Being gay wasn't really acceptable. And I had a few friends that struggled with that in their identity. And it was never a topic of subject, like top of mind, like people discussed it. It just kind of was in the background. And I think that's why people struggled. So at least now today, watching my kids, they can talk openly about it. And I'm very, very accepting in my life of every person, shape, color, creed, religion, sexual orientation, transgender, transitioning, just curious. All of it is fine. You're who you are. If I can't accept you for who you are, then how are you going to accept me for who I am? So, Catholics teach you to treat others like you want them to treat you. Well, that's of all people. There's no exceptions to that. So moving on. I was a geek, and I fit in with the popular crowd. Very odd. I really had no place. I always felt like I was on the outside looking in. Not a bad thing. I had a lot of friends. I was accepted by a lot of people, but I was very lonely at the same time. I think that's actually translated into my adult life. I'm accepted and I'm loved by a lot of people, but I feel lonely all the time. I think that actually went into a lot of my relationships and my marriages later down the line. Even my kids, kind of weird, disconnected feeling. But we'll get into that later, if you want. Even if you don't want, I'm going to do it anyway. So high school, had a high school sweetheart, was with him from probably, I think, sophomore year, end of freshman year, all the way through junior year. I think end of junior year, senior year is when I started to break off of having that high school sweetheart. And it was an innocent relationship all around. It was fun. We'd hang out. He had a younger brother that was, pain in the butt. I have a younger sister who was a pain in the butt. His parents were, gotta keep the door open if we were in his room, and my parents were, you can't go upstairs at all in my room. So, and I was innocent. I didn't party. I didn't drink. I didn't do any of that stuff in high school. So there was none of that. I had great friends. At times I went through really good friendships, hanging out, meeting people's parents. My high school sweetheart's best friend ended up marrying my best friend from high school, and they're still together and have a couple of beautiful girls and great careers, and they're beautiful people, and I love all of that. I love the fact that that can actually work. I just didn't have that connection. I love everyone, and I feel very deeply, but I'm such a disconnected feeling from a lot of people. And I can't put my finger on it. It kind of followed me throughout life. Until now. And now I'm learning differently, learning about what those feelings truly are. So, we had some good times. I mean, I remember we had this English teacher who just kind of, if you leave me to my own devices, I'm going to be super ultra different and creative if I can, because I thrive on some praise. I like it. I like making a statement and being heard. So give me a high school, project. I need to write a paper. I'm too lazy to write a paper. What am I going to do? I'm going to put together a musical rendition of Man of La Mancha and get some of my schoolmates to do it on a barren stage, 8 periods in a day. We had to do our 1-hour shortened rendition of Man of La Mancha, dressed as, the whore, and sing a few of the songs, and have Don Quixote chasing the windmills that weren't there, and just craziness. I mean, if you know me at all now, and even if you don't know me, you'll learn about me. I got to be different. I got to make a statement, and that definitely made a statement. It was a real standout moment in high school. Another great standout moment is because most of my friends, my real friends that really accepted me for who I was, we were we were happy, but we weren't the popular kids. And I went to my prom. I didn't have a date, so I asked the skate guard from Roll On America to go with me from another school, and he took me to my prom. We met up with a couple of my friends, and we went to the prom together, and we had a live band there. Mechanics Hall was great, and guess what? I won second runner-up for prom queen with my $80 prom dress that I bought on my own, white with little red accents. It was so pretty. Big hoop skirt, ruffles around the neck. I mean, just great. I didn't have long flowing hair. I had short hair because, I wasn't going to be like everybody else in high school. In the 80s, I had the short hair. Just craziness. And I ended up second runner-up for prom queen. I was pretty skinny back then, but very gawky and awful and awkward. And, I wanted to do things like, I wanted to be on the boys' football team, and the boys all got offended. And I didn't know shit about football. I just wanted to do it to be different. I didn't do it, by the way. I was not athletic at all. I could have cared less about sports. I worked at the mall, and that was cool, and I met people at the mall. And thus my boyfriend after high school. He was probably my first real love. And I still talk to him today, on occasion, on Facebook. We check in with each other. His father passed away, and I went to his father's funeral. I think it kind of surprised him that I was there, because we hadn't spoken in a while. And he's married, has some kids. His sister passed away. I mean, it just sad. But we had some really good times. We'd hang out with him and his buddies, and cause all kinds of trouble, and not real trouble, but just the trouble we would get in as older teenagers. And he was my boyfriend out of high school. We planned on moving in together. We planned on getting married. We planned on all of this stuff. And it was good. He was into softball, baseball, whatever it was. Everything was going along great until I decided to be a bitch and called everything off. Like, basically pulled into his driveway and said, I'm all done with you, and started dating other people. Cold feet, maybe. Do I regret that? No. We were too young. Do I enjoy all of my memories of the stuff that we did and hung out and everything else? Yes. I kind of serial dated a few people after my true love and I broke up. And it's funny, I'm trying not to mention names, but his name and my name are the same. And I guess there's a lot of us out there. His name is not Christine. So anyways, hanging out at tracks. I'd go dancing with my girlfriends, you know, after the ball. We'd get dressed up, we'd put up our makeup, we'd do up our hair. Now at this point I do have long hair. Hair got bigger and bigger. I dated one guy, Pat. I found out much later in life he was murdered. Kind of sad. He was a great guy. He actually exposed me to some other friends. Met him because he also worked in the mall, and I modeled bathing suits, and I caught his eye. Go figure. And we had a good, short-lived, very kind of passionate love affair for a very short period of time. And again, I just decided, nope, not for me, move on. And who did I move on to but my first husband? I swear to God, my first husband was such a mistake, but I got a beautiful daughter out of it. He was trouble from the word go. I knew it. I thought I could fix him. I thought I could make things better. You know, we had some good times. He was a little more of a partier, but he needed taking care of. And here I go. This is where I fall into my pattern. Always trying to fix somebody, always trying to take care of them, to make sure that they're okay. I guess if I focus on them, I don't have to focus on me. And I'm okay if they're okay. So the next chapter of this is actually going to be, the next few chapters of this is actually going to be my life as an adult from my first marriage on. And there'll be good stories. Believe me, there are a lot of good stories, and things that I think that are very relatable for other people. And I want you to know that you're not alone out there. And eventually we'll get to the current day, and hopefully you can appreciate how I've become a rock star. I don't really consider myself a rock star. It makes me very tired at 50. How I became a mother of two beautiful girls, and how very different they are, and how I am learning how my friends are the most important people, and my family are the most important people in my life, and what they actually mean to me after years and years and years of not being able to connect, and feeling very estranged and lonely, and walking through life taking care of everyone but me. So this is not a depressing one. This is actually just the prequel to what's coming. I hate trying to think of words before I have a lot of coffee. And I hope to check in with all of you really soon. And feel free to leave me comments or questions or things that you're curious about, or things that you can connect with, so that I can kind of gauge these, kind of like we do in the band. We pick all of our songs by requests. I would also like to pick some of the topics of content of things. If you're my friend, remind me of something happy so I can talk about it. Remind me of something sad so I can talk about it. That kind of thing. Make requests of what you want to hear, and I'll try to address it for you. Till then, peace.